Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and once again we are talking about the Everton job. Rafa Benitez was sacked on Sunday, meaning the Toffees are once again looking for a new manager. And one of the most interesting names linked with the job at Goodison Park is none other than Everton and Manchester United legend Wayne Rooney. The current Derby County boss is reportedly being considered to replace Rafa Benitez and get his first job as a manager in the Premier League. As was said, he's currently the Derby County boss in the Championship, and he could be on the brink of a miracle, with Derby no longer bottom of the Championship despite being docked like 1,000,000 points. There's a chance they could survive and Wayne Rooney's stock go even higher. But could he leave midway through the season and join Everton? They're his boyhood club, it's where he started his career, it's where he made his name for himself before he joined Man United, it's where he went back to before he ended his career in America and then at Derby. Could he go back to Goodison Park? And if he did, what would happen? Let's dive into the simulation, let's find out. Let's see what happens when Wayne Rooney gets the Everton job. Okay, here we are at the start of the simulation. We've just gone at the start of the season. I know when I did the predicting who's going to be the Everton manager, I went halfway through the season to the day that Rafa Benitez got sacked, and I sacked him, just because that's what happened. This time, rather than go halfway through the season and let Wayne Rooney take over midway through the campaign, I'm just going halfway through the season, mainly because I did try and go halfway through the season and Everton were doing really well, so it wasn't really fair. Rooney was getting a bit of an easier job. In reality, Everton are 16th in the league, and the only reason they're not in a relegation battle is because the teams below them are really crap. So what I've done here is I've sacked Rafa Benitez and I've given Wayne Rooney the job on the 26th of July 2021. He's got a 2-year deal, he's there until 2023, he's earning £47,000 a week, he's content with life at a club he loves, and it says he's got a preference to be the manager of Everton. Rooney, son, you are the manager of Everton, you've got the job of your dreams, well, some of your dreams, you're there. Everton fans, is Wayne Rooney the man for the job? Personally, I think it would be a bit of a risk. I mean, this is a guy who doesn't have a lot of managerial experience, and to go from big names like Carlo Ancelotti and Rafa Benitez to a relative upstart in Wayne Rooney would be a massive risk. But for sentimental reasons, you can see why Everton are considering it. But will it work? Let's go a season into the future. Let's see how Wayne Rooney's first year at Goodison Park goes. Said that all wrong, my cadence was appalling. Is cadence the right word? Let's simulate a year into the future. Okay, here we are at the end of the first season, and Wayne Rooney and Everton have finished 10th. They have finished in the bottom of the top half, which, that's alright to be honest with you. I mean, considering how bad things are going right now, I think Everton fans would snap your hand off to finish 10th. They've came 10th with 45 points. They were actually only 7 clear of the 18th place relegated team Wolves, which shows how tight it's been in the bottom half. But they've finished above West Ham, Newcastle, Southampton, and they have finished 10th in the Premier League. As you can see, Wayne Rooney is still the manager. He's appointed Jordan Pickford as his vice captain, replacing the Aston Villa bound Luca Dean, but he still hasn't got himself a new contract. This time next year, he could be on his way out of Goodison Park. How did his first year go? How did he get on in the Merseyside derbies? What about the cups? I've clicked on transfers. Let's have a look at that first. Signed Ruben Loftus-Cheek on loan and Bouna Sarr from Bayern Munich. Those are the two interesting deals. He also sold John Joe Kenny, loaned out Yerry Mina, Andre Gomez, loaned out Anthony Gordon. So some influential players have already left Goodison Park under Wayne Rooney. How did we get on in the cups? Well, the FA Cup, they were beaten in the 5th round by Aston Villa, which not a great run. First time they met a Premier League team, they were knocked out. What about the League Cup? They were beaten by Southampton on penalties. I mean, it's a lottery penalties. You can't get too upset about that. What about against Liverpool? How did they get on in the Merseyside derbies? Well, at Anfield, they lost 2-0 in the Premier League. What about the return fixture at Goodison? It was a 1-0 win. An 88th minute winner from Mason Holgate, giving Wayne Rooney Derby Day delight. Just 3 days after he lost to a Steven Gerrard side. All in all, it's been a pretty good season for Wayne Rooney. 10th in the league and a Merseyside derby victory at Goodison Park. But will he get himself a new contract? Let's go a year into the future. We'll be at the end of his current deal. Will he still be Everton manager? And how much longer will he be there for? Let's go one more year into the future. Right, here we are another year into the future, the second year of this simulation. And Everton Football Club are on the march. They have gone from 10th to 9th. They have got 55 points in the Premier League and are climbing the table rather. And in 8 years' time, at this rate, they'll be Premier League champions. But is Wayne Rooney still the manager? Is he the man who's guided Everton to back-to-back top half finishes? Oh yes he is. And he's made Jordan Pickford the captain. How interesting. Wayne Rooney, he's got himself a new contract. He is going to be at Goodison Park for 2 more years. Until 2025, Wayne Rooney will be the Everton manager. It's all going so well for Wayne Rooney. Who's he brought into the club? Well, we'll have a look at who's gone out first. He's got rid of Salomon Rondon, a very Rafa Benitez signing. Rondon's probably just following Rafa wherever he goes. Probably follows him at the toilet, to be honest with you. Cenk Tossen's been sold. He was a transfer disaster. Seamus Coleman loaned out. Past his best years. Anthony Gordon loaned out again. One for the future. And they sold Andre Gomez, which is pretty disappointing. He's a bit of a Rolls Royce midfielder. But clearly, Wayne Rooney isn't a fan. In terms of incomings, they've spent £41 million. The biggest arrival being Douglas Santos from Zenit St. Petersburg. They also signed Ruben Loftus-Cheek on a permanent deal, costing £10 million from Chelsea. How's he gone in an Everton shirt? He's done okay, nothing exceptional, but not appalling either. All in all, relatively okay. Let's have a little look at the schedule. Cup competitions, they were beaten in the Carabao Cup 4th round on penalties by Watford. FA Cup, they again didn't make it past the 5th round, losing to Newcastle on penalties. So in both cup competitions, they've been beaten on spot kicks. What about the derbies? At Anfield, they were beaten 3-0 by Liverpool. That's pretty disappointing. And they lost at home as well. All in all, they didn't score a single goal against Liverpool in the Premier League. So despite last year's heroics with an 88th minute winner from Mason Holgate, this time they've been absolutely bad. Let's check the players out. Let's see what Wayne Rooney is playing. He is going with a 4-2-3-1 and his star player is Jordan Pickford. He's the captain and he's the best player at the club with an average rating of 7.11. I thought Moise Kean was the star man, scoring 29 goals, but instead that has came on loan at Juventus, which, wow, that's exceptional from Moise Kean. But back to the actual Everton stars, and the top goal scorer has been Richarlison. 17 goals playing up front, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin actually hasn't played as much football. He got 11 goals, so at least he's hit double figures. But he had 17 appearances off the bench. It looks like Richarlison has ousted Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and rather than trying to accommodate both, Wayne Rooney is only going with the Brazilian, it's disappointing for Calvert-Lewin. But for Everton, it appears to be working wonders. Michael Keane's not playing a lot of football under the new manager, neither is Yerry Mina, who was obviously loaned out last season. At the heart of defence, we have got Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey. The other option, who else have we got that can play centre-back? Alejandro Frances, he was the arrival from Real Zaragoza. And considering how young he is, 6.86, that's alright, you know. Coming from a second division team, no top flight experience, that's not a bad start for the Spanish centre-back. But things are going okay for Everton under Wayne Rooney. They're not splashing ridiculous cash like they have in years gone by, but they are bringing in some decent names by the looks of things, and decent names who are producing. In years gone by, they wasted so much money on absolute garbage, to be honest with you. And it's why Rafa Benitez was so hamstrung in the transfer window. I mean, it didn't matter anyway, the fans didn't want him, but based on this, they should want Wayne Rooney. But how much better will things get in the future? Let's go 2 years into the future, to the end of his current contract, to 2025. Let's see how Everton are getting on 2 more years into the future. Right, here we are, the 11th of June 2025, and Wayne Rooney has completed 4 years as Everton manager, and things are going so well that, I was going to say they're going so well that he's either an icon or a club legend, but that doesn't appear to be the case. If anything, things have got worse. I'm sure he was favoured personnel at the start. But now he's not there. Maybe he's just forging a new legacy at Everton. Let's call it that. As you can see, they've just finished 8th in the Premier League. Where did they come the season before that? They came 12th. So there was a bit of a dip in season 3 for Wayne Rooney. But they've recovered in season 4 and they finished 8th in the Premier League. Their joint best finish since 2019. Which just shows how poor Everton have been in the past few years. Let's go to the transfers. Let's see who they've brought in. Season before, they spent £45 million. They got Sardar Azmoun from Zenit St. Petersburg. Looks like he was the bigger rival, £16 million. The number 18 Iranian forward. Absolute waste of money. He's only scored 1 Premier League goal in 2 seasons. So that's not very good. Obviously, they sold Moise Keane. Jean-Philippe Gbamin, he's been loaned out. He just hasn't really worked out. Michael Keane was sold to West Ham for an absolute bargain fee of £1.8 million. I mean, I'm sure he cost £30 million when he came from Burnley. It's all gone wrong. Season 2, who they signed? Timothy Weah, George Weah's son, he's arrived from Lille. Matt Clark from Brighton, that's an interesting one. Nico from Barcelona is the bigger rival, £20 million, Spanish centre midfielder, and he's been very good. 6 Premier League goals, 6 assists, an average rating of 7.29. That is a great bit of business by Wayne Rooney and Everton. He's replaced Alan, who's been sold. A big money arrival from Napoli. He's been sold, was signed by Carlo Ancelotti. But another big name who's left the club, Mason Holgate's gone as well as Derby Day hero. Sold by Wayne Rooney. But how long is Wayne Rooney going to be here for? Has he got a new contract? Yes, he does. He is signed until 2028. He still hasn't had his wages increased, which is, well, it's fine. It is what it is. But he's going to be there for another 3 years. Things are going very well for Wayne Rooney. I mean, to be there at Everton for so long is quite impressive. I mean, I don't think a manager's had this long a spell since the David Moyes days. 3 years, 320 days. Very near to 4 years in charge of his boyhood club. Let's check the cup competitions out, see how they've got on. This year they were beaten in the Carabao Cup 3rd round by Man City. FA Cup, once again, 5th round disappointment, so there's been no real joy in the Cups. The season prior, it was the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. What about the FA Cup? It was the 4th round, beaten by Man United. Derbies, they were beaten by Liverpool away. And at home, they got themselves a 0-0 draw, which is okay in the most recent season. How did they get on against their rivals? They lost 4-0 at Goodison Park. That would have been really damaging for Wayne Rooney, but he did respond with 3 wins on the bounce, which is good to see. A good response there to getting battered 4-0 off your local rivals. In the return fixture, it was a draw. They drew 0-0 at Anfield, which is a good point. And based on their average ratings, it was a wonderful performance by a lot of, mainly the defensive players in Wayne Rooney's squad. His star player, it's Nico, unsurprisingly. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's back in favour. He started 27 games and is the top scorer with 19 goals. Richarlison, he got 11. Iwobi, that's pretty impressive. He got 10 goals. But Richarlison, he wants to leave for European football. And Calvert-Lewin is wanted by Man City. So this could be a crucial transfer window for Wayne Rooney. Because if those two players go, he's only got Sardar Azmoun leading the line. And he's only scored 1 more goal for the club. I mean, he's been an absolute waste of money. I was going on about Everton not wasting money in this simulation. But when it comes to Sardar Azmoun, they have done exactly that. Let's go 2 more years into the future. In 2027, will Wayne Rooney still be the Everton manager? Let's find out. Right, here we are 2 more years into the future. Wayne Rooney is still the manager. And he has just guided Everton to their best finish for absolutely years. And the season prior in 2026 they came 7th, which was his best finish to date. This season he's gone 1 better and he has finished 5th in the Premier League, their best finish since the Roberto Martinez days, I think, in 2014. 5th in the Premier League and qualifying for the Europa League, which is pretty impressive for Everton. That's really, really good. And a testament to Wayne Rooney's management. Wayne Rooney, has he got himself a new contract? Nope, he's still only got a year left on his deal. And he's made a change with the armband. Now it's Ben Godfrey who's the captain, replacing Jordan Pickford. Has he made any big signings which propelled them to European football? Well, in the season before they brought in Lucas Moura, which is quite a quite a big name there from Tottenham Hotspur. The biggest arrival was Michel-Ange Balikwisha from Antwerp, £25 million. A Belgian striker, all left winger. Hasn't done very well, to be honest with you. Transfers just aren't Everton's thing, are they? What about the next season? £59 million spent. They got Liam Delap from Man City, Patrick Schick from PSG. But they did sell Richarlison to Barcelona for just £40 million, which for me doesn't seem like a lot of money for a player like Richarlison. Let's check Everton out. Let's see. They've still got Calvert-Lewin, which is good. He's got 24 goals. Nico's impressed again. 10 goals and 19 assists from the middle of the park. That is truly sensational from the Spaniard. Patrick Schick's deal hasn't gone very well. Only 3 starts, 2 goals. So, I mean, playing under one of England's greatest ever strikers isn't getting the best out of him. But the star player, it is, of course, Nico. Chris Richards has been good in defence, the American. He arrived from Sporting. You might recognise him from Bayern Munich. Well, he's doing pretty well since his £6 million arrival. Playing at right back or centre back. Jordan Pickford's still doing well. You've got a lot of players there averaging a 7 or above. And there's a lot of goals in this team. Double figures from Nico, Kais Ruiz, and mainly Dominic Calvert-Lewin. 24 goals. It's an astonishing tally from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But only 11 of them actually came in the Premier League. He scored 10 goals in Europe. The season prior, obviously they came 7th. They qualified for Europe. They got themselves into the Europa Conference League. And it is a competition that Everton have won their first trophy since 1995. When I believe they won the FA Cup, Wayne Rooney has done it. In 2027, he is a Europa Conference League winner. Firstly, they beat Elecspo in a qualifying round. Then they were in a group with BRG, Krasnodar, Jablanek. They won that. They were pumped into the second round by Molde. They beat them 6-1. Then it was Aberdeen. They beat them 4-0. Then it was Anderlecht in the semi-finals, 5-1. They walked it to the final where they met Athletic Bilbao, a big team in Spain. A tough final for Everton. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin helped Wayne Rooney's side come from behind. They fell behind in the 30th minute. A brace from Calvert-Lewin though won them the trophy and won them Everton's first trophy since 1995. It's the first European trophy since 1985 when they won the European Cup Winners' Cup, and it's a truly astonishing achievement from Wayne Rooney. Based on this, he is going to be an absolute dream if he gets the Everton job. Can he take them even further though? Things are going very well, but he's only got a contract until 2028. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go a year into the future. That'll be the end of this contract. Surely he's going to get a new deal though. Let's go a year into the future. Let's see if he gets it. Right, here we are, 2028, and Wayne Rooney, still the Everton manager, got himself a new contract there until 2031. 7 years as the Everton manager. How's he got on in this season? Obviously they came 5th the last time out, which was pretty impressive. This time still in the top half, but no longer in Europe, coming 8th in the league, but just 4 points behind Liverpool. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you, Brighton have came 3rd. Don't know how that's happened, but we're here to talk about Everton. Obviously still managed by Wayne Rooney. Again, not spending massive money. Ben Wilmot, the biggest rival, at £28 million. And they've also brought in Alexander Zinchenko for £34 million. He could be a bit of an astute bit of business. How's he got on? Let's have a little look. Nico, the star man, he's now the captain. I mean, what a deal he's been at £20 million. The performances don't seem to have been as good this season, with only 6 players averaging above a 7. One of those was Alexander Zinchenko, who scored 6 goals and got 12 assists playing as a central attacking midfielder. The system seems to be very narrow from Rooney. Calvert-Lewin getting 20 goals, but his average rating was below a 7. 16 of those goals coming in the Premier League. But Jordan Pickford hasn't been as good. The defence just seems to have been a lot weaker, which perhaps explains why Everton haven't finished in a European position. How do they get on in the Europa League? Let's have a little look. Well, it was an amazing start to the season. After they lost to Aston Villa, then after that, an incredible string of victories in both League, Cup and European competition. Everton just won game after game after game. They made it through the group stages where they met Zenit. They beat them in the second knockout round. Then it was Atalanta in the quarters. They beat them. Then it was a semi-final where unfortunately they played the Europa League experts, the kings of the competition, Sevilla. And Sevilla absolutely battered them, to be honest with you. 6-1 on aggregate. It was a bad few days there. They lost the derby to Liverpool. And then they had a hammer blow in the Europa League semi-final first leg. FA Cup, they were beaten in the quarters by Man United. Carabao Cup, beaten in the semi-finals also by Man United. So Wayne Rooney, very, very nearly getting another shot at silverware. 3 cup semi-finals, 1 year after he won the Europa Conference League. But this season, in the league at least, there's been a clear drop-off in player performances. Is the writing on the wall for Wayne Rooney? I mean, it shouldn't be. This is a man who's finally won a trophy for the Toffees. But you never know with this club. Let's go 1 more year into the future. Let's see if Wayne Rooney can cling on to his job. Right, here we are, the 4th of June 2029. And I preempted it. Wayne Rooney is no longer Everton manager. The Toffees have just finished 16th in the Premier League. Very nearly going down with just 36 points. What on earth happened to Wayne Rooney? He was sacked on the 4th of November 2028. 7 years, 101 days after he was appointed manager, and he's since been replaced by Abelardo, who's managed to guide Everton to Premier League safety. Let's see where Everton were when Wayne Rooney got the sack. I've clicked on the wrong thing. There we are, past positions. It was a woeful start. On the 4th of November, they drew 1-1 with Bournemouth, leaving them in 19th place. They never got higher than 18th at the start of the season, which is woeful, to be honest with you. They did win the derby. They beat Tottenham away from home. But those first few games were really, really poor for Everton. They lost to Leeds 3-0, they lost to Brighton 2-0, they lost to Chelsea, they lost to Leicester, lost to Watford, then they drew with Norwich. They got a point on the board at the 6th time of asking. But overall, it's been a poor season. And they didn't really kick on that much with the new manager. So for me, based on that, Wayne Rooney has been treated incredibly harshly. I mean, this is a club legend, for goodness sake. He's only favoured personnel, and that's only based on his player achievements. He's wanted by Milan, which just shows how well he did at Goodison Park. Over 7 years in charge, some incredible top half finishes, a 5th place finish, and most importantly, a trophy, a Europa Conference League in 2027. But after 7 years, Wayne Rooney has been sacked as Everton manager. But let's be honest, if things are going to go that well for Wayne Rooney at Everton, then what are they waiting for? Give him a contract now and get him in the dugout as soon as possible. But this is only Football Manager. Would hiring Wayne Rooney be a good idea? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And until next time, we will see you around.